I say 9 goals, they had 2 chances against Chelsea. They scored one of them. They're averaging 7 shots during this season a game. Is this good enough? When we've had the news over the last week or so that the league may or may not, depending on which article you read, force relegation to be scrapped, maybe temporarily. Is this enough? Is this what we want to see? Is that going to improve the likes of Leicester City?
Well, no, it's not, to be really honest with you. The incentive has to be there in terms of elite sport in jeopardy. And if this is going to happen and it's going to fabricate into something that's real and there's going to be a closed league, then the jeopardy needs to come back, and it needs to come back soon in the near future, because elite sport is not about just being comfortable. And I would fear that if the infrastructure and the professionalisation of the game doesn't continue to improve, almost like the minimum requirement doesn't improve, then how are teams going to, act against being complacent? And I don't want to see it. I really don't.
And I think Izzy's right. It's about that incentive. They're trying to incentivise making the product better by, if there's no relegation, you can maybe be more expansive. You haven't got to maybe sit in games and hang on just to stay in the league. But I've got an argument as to, if they want to, they would, in terms of the clubs. You didn't have to incentivise Chelsea and Arsenal and Man City to do what they did. They wanted to do it.
But if it's closed, does the incentive go out the window then? Rhiannon Skinner at West Ham was saying you need that promotion relegation for that incentive.
Yeah, I think you do. And maybe it's a cultural thing, because I think that gut reaction for us in Britain is no, absolutely not. Because it's not what we're used to. We want a meritocracy where you play well, you get rewarded. If you don't play well, you don't get your reward. So I understand the process or the thought process, but for me, it doesn't work unless then... You've got to think further along as well, because if you say, right, we're not going to do relegation for a couple of years, but then we reintroduce it, but then for the sporting integrity, the club that's nearest to the promotion then hasn't got that time without relegation. So it's a long road ahead, and I think we're almost...
Yes or no, do you want it?
No, absolutely not.
I'd like to see a playoff.
No.
Playoff.
Playoff? No,
Between...
both of them. That's their opinion.